This is really creepy. Sora is staring directly at me, and I am terrified. Anyway, welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. In the last part, we finished off the Pegasus Cup, which we are now number 1. We defeated Leon and Yuffie, and so we're going to move on. Now, there are a couple things we could go and do in Traverse Town, but let's just ignore them. So we are going to warp to Monstro. It's going to play the animation like we are getting Ian, and we'll have to mess around with it, of course, because apparently you couldn't just have me warp behind him, or I don't even know. So we're just gonna have some wasted wasted time. It's not that big of a deal. We get to see this cool animation, I guess, of a whale floating in space. Brilliant. So we're just gonna immediately go to the save point and get out of here and go to the next area, which is actually a very important area. It's also what I consider to be probably the worst world in the game. I don't like most of it. And a lot of people seem to really agree with me on it. So we're going to go here, and I guess it's finally time for me to talk about magic, because we are about to hit the more important parts of the game when it comes to magic. This world is... you're going to be using magic a lot. I'm talking a ridiculous amount. And so I want to talk about the damage and what you can do to stay alive and all that, because if you are playing on proud mode at this point, you've probably figured out most of what magic does, or you have your own type of bias towards certain spells. I'm a big Thunder fan, so you're gonna have to mess with it to find your own bias, but I'm just gonna give you the damage that each and every spell can do, or most of them anyway. I don't remember all of them, but I remember most of them. So let's talk about fire. Fire is a single shot, as we've already seen, and I didn't expect this to be such a short ride, to be honest. My bad. Oh yeah. Prepare for landing. There's no land, as he'll come to say. Land where? In the sea will drown. And Donald pulls magic, the magical magic word of magic, and proceeded to turn us into sea creatures, though I have no idea why he turned us into these specific sea creatures, but you'll come to find those. Right there. I have no idea why Donald is... it looks like a squid, to be honest. It's not an octopus. How many legs do you have? I can't see. I think it's squid. Yeah, come on, crab. Alright. So, we are immediately introduced to Ariel in the group, which, if you have not guessed, this is Atlantica. And yes, this is a water level. There's something weird about the fact your lip flaps don't work. Also, I just want to preface this really fast. I hate this world. This is probably the only world where I'm really just like awkward and I actually don't enjoy. Most of the stuff in the game, even if I struggle against, like, let's say Cerberus, or there's a couple bosses I find unfair later in the game, I still enjoy them. I still have a fun time. But this overall world is a mix of good ideas and terrible execution. So, as you can see, our movement is going to be slightly different. You are going to rely on lock-on for most of this. So, if you click circle, you can float up, and if you click square, you'll float down, or not float down, you'll go down. You'll rise or you'll fall, something like that. Where's Flounder? And it's going to take me some getting used to it again. Every time I come in this world, I just have a hard time with movement. It's not too bad, but it's just a mix of movement, the overall confusing areas in this world, and just the lackluster happenings. It's really a boring world. Oh, you're all the way up. There we go. That should be it. Pretty soon. Flounder. Thank you. And we got the movement down.
Good job. Now let's move on to
Wait. Hold on. How would you teach us self-defense? And we get some primary enemies that we will be fighting for a long while. So they run away because they do not have the abilities of fighting. Well, Ariel does, but Sebastian does not. So I'm not sure how he would have taught us anything. One thing I will make note is that Blizzard is going to be your friend throughout most of this. It just does a lot of damage. And as you'll see is that the animations are actually sped up for certain magic abilities. And I don't know if this was intentional, but it's why I primarily use magic in Atlantica, which is where we are, which it hasn't revealed the title screen, but we'll get there, or the title card. And we have a save point, which is good, because we have a long while before the next one. Might be heading for the palace, too. We better head back. Yeah. We need your help. Please come back to the palace with us. The trident markers on the walls point the way there. Don't get losses. Yeah, it's going to be a long path. And we can get Ariel in our party, but Ariel's the worst ever. Because, yeah. So, back to my magic talk, because as you can see, we're going to be using a lot of magic. The formula is max MP plus 20. Which means if you have, let's say, 4 magic bars, is now doing 24 damage. It's easy math. Pretty standard. We're going to be exploring the undersea current here, so gives me plenty of time to talk about this. Give me that. I'm not leaving without that. You will see me dive for all this stuff. Anyway, as soon as you get the upgrade, it has the same formula, except instead of plus 20, it's now plus 24, and the next upgrade, which we don't have yet, but we will be getting eventually, is plus 30. It's the same formula all the way through, very basic. Right now we would be we have fire out, right? So we would be doing, we have 5 right there, so you add to 24, and you get 29. 29. That was really hard, apparently. But we're going to be exploring this area and searching around, so this gives me time to talk about magic. And it's going to seem kind of boring, but you're going to find that magic is your friend. And yeah, I know I'm mostly using just basic stuff like my normal attacks here, but that's because we haven't fought anything big. Blizzard is a more shotgun blast, as you've seen. I've used it plenty of times throughout. I mean, look at that. It's one of my favorites. But Blizzard actually does more damage than Fire by 2 in each of its formulas. So, max MP, plus 22, plus 26, and plus 32. And you get the formula for those. Pretty easy to memorize, those two anyway. Nothing too complicated. Now, if you get to Thunder, which is also a favorite of mine, I mean, duh. But Thunder is max MP times 2. So in this case, it would actually be 10 here. We got a cottage. Woo. You're supposed to be following the tridents, but I want to explore a little bit. Get some loot. No, come on. Go down. I hate the movement. I swear. Ugh. Oh, great. More of you. Can I just thunder you? No, that did nothing. But Thunder is max MP times 2 and then plus a certain amount. The first Thunder is plus 14. Thundera is plus 18. And Thunderga is plus 22. So, as you can see, it gets quite powerful in comparison to Fire and Blizzard. While Blizzard stays somewhat relevant throughout most of the game, Fire falls apart pretty much as soon as you get it every time. Never use Fire. Also, everything in its mother resists it, so I already got that one. Fire is purely for puzzles and, like, maybe tech points. Oh my god. Get rid of you guys. But now we get to the interesting one. Probably the most used spell for everyone that plays this game. Cure. Cure is valuable. I've used it a lot. I probably used it the most. Because, I mean, look at this. I healed. That's magical. It is magical and magical, if that makes sense. Can you not fly away from me, please? Thanks. And how are you tankier? That makes 0 sense. But Cure, the formula is actually different depending on if you're playing the original version or not. If you are playing the original version, it is, really? Really? Are you kidding me? Give me this. What? Thank you. Jeez. If you are playing the original version, it is max MP times 3 and then plus a certain amount, I believe. I don't have this memorized because it's different in Final Mix. Did I already grab you? No, I didn't. It is 6 and then I want to say 18, and I do not remember the last one. It's somewhere in the 30s or maybe high 20s. I do not honestly remember. But in the new Final Mix, the pluses are a little higher, but it's actually kind of nerfed. Cure is kind of nerfed in this version of the game. It's max MP, no multiplication involved, and then it's plus 15, plus 26, and plus 36? I have a hard time memorizing the last one, apparently. But overall, it's not... Where are you? Oh, you were directly below me. I got a nice tech there. But overall, it is the defining magic... Donald, can you kill something by yourself? Let's go this way. I don't think this leads anywhere special. Yeah. This just leads back. Not very special. I think this is pretty much the whole entire area explored right now. And we got that, we got that. And yeah, but I will be covering the rest of them as we go throughout this world. And the reason I will be covering them is because you are going to see me use basically every spell. And I'm going to end this here mostly because it's going to be a long trek to the palace. And so I'm going to show you how to save, because this is how you save. I have to make sure you know that, because if you don't, you might get lost here. So I understand, a little boring, a little explanation heavy, but we are getting into a magical heavy segment of the game. So if you do enjoy the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you prefer. As always, make sure to comment if you really want to talk about something. I'm a big talker. As you can see, I talked about freaking math formulas in a video game for a while, so meh. But I hope to see you guys next time, and of course, as always, till then.